Hello everyone, welcome to Lesson 7. We're going to talk about establishing requirements, but instead of gathering them, we're going to talk about how to communicate them in a way that can lead to effective design. By the end of this lecture, you'll be able to provide reasons to collect requirements before design and define a requirement. Let's begin by talking about why we want to collect requirements. A lot of this lecture will draw from Bill Buxton's book, Sketching User Experiences. This is a great book. It's on course reserves, and it talks a lot about getting the design right and the right design. So much that this is the subtitle for the book. So I highly recommend you read it. It's fantastic. But let's dive into this term. What do you think get the design right means? I'd like to show an example of this. This is an example called The Uncomfortable by Caterina Camprani. It's an artistic piece, obviously. It's beautifully executed, but it's completely unusable. And I find that this is really effective because it shows that you've got this beautiful, aesthetically pleasing fork. You've got a nice little chain. Like everything just is nice about this object, but it's completely unusable. It doesn't meet a task that you might want to accomplish when it comes to eating. It might accomplish something for discussion, for example, which is why it's here, but it doesn't really serve the function as a fork. This contrasts with getting the right design, which is finding the right target problem for your solution. And my example is Snapchat, kind of. When I first picked up Snapchat, I hated the UI. I didn't know how to navigate it at all. I could never remember it. I didn't think anything was discoverable. Transfer effects, so knowing other interfaces didn't help me to learn this interface. On the whole, I thought the UI was absolutely terrible. I also might just have been too old to actually work with it. But it was a smash hit. It really met a need that people wanted to do. So this is getting the right design. It's something that meets what potential users want it to meet. It has the right problem statement, but the execution I thought was really lacking. The reason I have the ish in there for Snapchat is because this actually was a bit of a feature, not just a bug. It meant that if you were able to navigate the interface and really create effective snaps, that was sort of a social capital that you gained, right? If you're the person sending all these interesting snaps and you really kind of were engaged with the interface and knew how to navigate it, then you knew you were kind of on the inside, and I'm, my old fogey ways, I was on the outside. So I wasn't really able to engage in that community. And that does sort of serve a purpose. So I think that they were effective in that as well. Another way you might think about this is design as optimization. So let's treat the possible solutions as a search space. You're trying to find the optimal design for a possible problem. You might have some sort of search, some sort of problem space like this. Getting the design right is maximizing the utility function. So you might sample, this is your kind of brainstorming and prototyping, and then you iterate to find, via hill climbing, the best design for that search space. But getting the right design means that you're selecting the right utility function. So if you didn't talk to users in the right way and didn't get the right encapsulation, you might realize that the actual utility function is different than the one you were optimizing. So optimizing for the wrong utility function is going to get you completely the wrong answer, right? This is exactly what it means to get the design right and the right design. So, your turn. Individually, use the instructions on Learn to provide 2 examples of a product or system which got the design right, but not the right design, and got the right design, but not the design right. Please don't use the examples I provided. Note, for these lecture activities, we're going to mark you based on how you're being thoughtful or engaged with the material. So make sure you're putting in some thought. It doesn't need to take more than 5 minutes, but think for those 5 minutes. I'll wait.